Hello, my name is Miss Mary from the YMCA, and I'm very excited to be with you today. Today we're going to read one of my favorite stories. It's called Nothing to Do, written by Douglas Wood, illustrated by Wendy Anderson Halperin. Today's story comes from the Healthy Schools, Healthy Communities curriculum developed by the Michigan Fitness Foundation. Let's take a minute to look at our cover. Bring it in there for you. And we'll take a look at the back. I want you to pay attention to what you see. What objects and things do you see on our cover and on the back? And when you might use them. Now I want you to think, using those pictures and the title, what do you think our story is going to be about? Do you have any guesses or predictions what's going to happen in our story? Or how these objects might be used? Have you ever felt like you had nothing to do? How did that make you feel? When you have nothing to do, what do you usually end up doing? Or how do you act? Well, let's listen. Let's find out, what is he going to do when he has nothing to do? And what's going to happen in our story today? Nothing to Do by Douglas Wood, illustrated by Wendy Anderson Halperin. Once in a while, along comes a day when there's nothing, absolutely, positively nothing to do. And isn't that great? No school, no homework, no little league, no dance class, no play rehearsal, no soccer practice, no computer camp, no anything. Just a white, empty space on the calendar. Of course, some people get a little worried about these spaces. These people are very nice and wear big shoes, but we'll think about them a little later. But what do you do when there's nothing to do? Well, I have heard stories, wonderful stories, about taking off your shoes and walking through green grass or mud in your bare feet, or making toy ships out of sticks and sailing them across a puddle that somehow seems as wide as an ocean. I've heard about lying on your back and watching clouds turn from dinosaurs into crocodiles, into dragons, into bears, into butterflies, into clouds. Or lying on your stomach watching an ant carry something 3 times bigger than he is, while you wonder, how can he do that? And what do ants eat for breakfast that makes them so strong? I've heard of making a paper plane, do loop-de-loops and barrel rolls in the soft summer air, then land smooth as butter on bread. Or building a fort, a secret place where no one can see you because you can't see them, and surviving for hours on peanut butter sandwiches and lemonade. I've heard about catching fireflies on a warm evening and putting them in a jar until you have 2 hands full of gold, and then letting them all go. I've heard of swinging until your toes touch the clouds, or hanging by your knees like a monkey, just to find out how monkeys feel. I've heard of climbing a good tree that's been waiting all its life just to be climbed by you. Or finding a quiet spot and reading your very favorite book, and then reading it again. just because it is your favorite. I've heard stories about exploring places that really need to be explored. About making angels in the snow, or building igloos or caves, or sledding, or tasting icicles, or throwing snowballs, or making round, fat men with orange noses and old hats who smile at everyone. Why, I've heard of swimming and building sandcastles and hopscotching and jumping rope and running and throwing and bouncing and painting and drawing and playing with toys and puzzles and dolls and games and puppies and kittens and hamsters and gerbils and doing cartwheels and doing somersaults and doing... well, sometimes just doing nothing. And maybe one of the best ways to do nothing is to show someone else how to do it with you. Maybe even someone with big shoes. Just to remind them that sometimes doing nothing is the most important thing in the whole wide world to do. Very good job of listening today. Let's see how well we're paying attention and what we learned. Why do you think it is important to have time to make choices about your activity that you're going to do? I know it helps me make my own discoveries and go on my own adventures so I can find out what I like to do, right? Why is it important to be physically active every day? Helps you build strong muscles and have a healthy body and give you energy. Lots of good reasons. How do you use your free time? What do you like to do when you have nothing to do? I love to go for walks and play puzzles and read books and lots of different things. Very good job listening today. Thank you for having me, and we'll see you again soon.